Welcome to Cam Look, your twice-a-week look at a work from the Cincinnati Art Museum's permanent collection. Each Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer will present an object from the permanent collection and pose questions for discussion. Please check back at 10 a.m. on those days to see what's new. Hi, I'm Susan, a docent at the museum, and today I'd like to share Robert Colescott's painting, Dr. Ehrlich's Magic Bullet. This work appeared in the CAM's 30 Americans exhibit of 2016 that showcased the most important African American artists of the past 3 decades. It's back out to enjoy in Gallery 231. We'll get to the title, but first let's look at the painting. There is a lot to see. It is very colorful. At first glance, it appears abstract. Not surprising, since this artist started as an abstractionist. A closer look reveals figures. I can make out 3. A ghostly white female lower left, a brown male in formal coat and tie center right, and the profile of a female with large red lips, blonde hair, and an odd withered green hand in the upper third of the canvas. Her legs, or what I'm taking to be her legs, look like they're inside what I interpret as a black pot. You might see it differently. I'm going to ID her as African American despite the blonde hair. The remainder of the canvas is filled, and I do mean filled, with vibrant swaths of color. Now for the title, Dr. Ehrlich's Magic Bullet. Dr. Paul Ehrlich, born 1854, died 1915, was a German physician and scientist. He shared the Nobel Prize of 1908 with another scientist for work advancing the understanding of the immune response. He wanted to find chemical agents attracted to pathogens to which they would go and would be, as Ehrlich expressed it, magic bullets to kill them without harming other cells. After testing over 600 substances, he developed salvarsan, a cure for syphilis, a disease as dreaded as AIDS at the time. Salvarsan and neosalvarsan, a less toxic version, retained their role as the most effective drugs for treating syphilis until the advent of antibiotics in the 1940s. In the U.S., a terrible disregard for life was an extended study of the effects of untreated syphilis on poor black sharecroppers, even after drugs were available. The Tuskegee study, as it was known, ran for 40 years. Deception of participants was suspected but not confirmed until 1972, when press coverage forced it to end. I find it interesting that our painting was completed in 1968. Now for some info on Robert Colescott. Born 1925 in California to parents that were musicians and friends with a prominent black artist, he was exposed to the arts and aware of the Harlem Renaissance and artwork dealing with the African American experience growing up. After serving in the military during World War II, he obtained both a Bachelor of Art and Master of Art in drawing and painting from Berkeley. He also studied in Paris with Fernand Lagar. Colescott's early art used figures built out of geometric forms similar to Lagar. This is an untitled work by Colescott. It was a stay in Egypt and exposure to its art and culture in the continent of Africa that profoundly changed his style. He reintroduced figures, specifically black figures, into his previously abstract work. His paintings began to explore issues related to black identity. He created some works based on iconic paintings from art history, often described as satirical, some bordered on pop art. His subject range was wide. Besides racial issues, he explored women and male-female relations, medicine, consumerism, music, pop culture, and America's imperial ambitions. I have lots of questions about this painting. Is the man in the suit Dr. Ehrlich? Are the other figures patients or test subjects? Ehrlich tested his drug in Africa. But instead of me interpreting it, I invite you to share your ideas now that you have some background. You can do that in the space below.